Monster Hunter. I figured I may as well let the whole intro run. Oops. But not twice. So, I think we're going to start a whole new game. But first, I've got to adjust some things here. Yeah, I'm a big Monster Hunter fan, and I haven't really played the first game, but I own it. Anyway, this game is pretty weird. Even within the Monster Hunter series, which is already a very niche game series. This is really not for everybody. But on top of that, Monster Hunter 1, it's just weird. I'll jump ahead and discuss things as they come up. So I am stress testing a little bit, so I'm at the lowest resolution now, but I'll try bumping it up in a minute. See how much my computer can handle. Also, this game is pretty loud. It seems kind of loud. I don't know. I have to check the audio capture. Yeah, it seems like it's probably fine. Anyway, this stream might be a little shorter just because of that. But I'm going to start at low res. This is the original PlayStation 2 rendering resolution. And I'm going to make a character. I'm going to go with my usual character design. Jeez, I don't know. What are all these options? Let's work backwards and find something that is appropriate. I like this one. You're not. It doesn't matter that much because your character is. This is kind of typical RPG style where you're gonna be hidden under some pretty wacky armor for most of the game. Yeah, gotta have green hair. And I normally play Greatsword, but I want to mix things up. So my name is going to reflect that. There's H. There it is. The Lance of Beth. That's right, I'm going Lance. We're gonna overwrite my test character from earlier. And Monster Hunter fans, or veterans, will be shocked and surprised if you haven't seen this game before. I don't think... No, there are free lines in this game, but I don't think there are any friendly ones. But I was thinking about that, because no palicos in this game. You're meant to fight totally on your own or online with your friends. You don't get any buddies for single player. Also, you don't get anything to start with. No other item, no other weapons, and no items or armor. We just have to go get some. We have to get something from the village chief. And even then, they don't give us very much to work with. The shop is the only place in town. Yeah, I realize I'm skipping all this stuff when somebody might want to read it. Not much. You're right, it isn't very much because that's the smith and that's the vendor. Excuse me. We can't buy anything except a sword with, I guess, slightly better stats. But yeah, also, first game in the series, there aren't a lot of weapons. You get greatsword, which some of them do look like the longsword in later games, but they're all great swords. Hammers, lances, sword and shield, which, because this is the North American release of the first game, there are some trees that actually turn into dual blades, so dual blades are sort of hidden away in here. And then light and heavy bow guns, which I'm not going to use because, I don't know, the older you go in Monster Hunter, I find that the ranged weapons get not worse, but harder and harder to use. Armor, we could get some armor. I have to think about what I can afford, though. Battle Helm sounds pretty good, but of course, that's going to be beyond our budget. 1,500 means... yeah, we could get a full leather set. Or I could save up to get... yeah, we can get a leather set and green pants. There aren't leather pants for some reason. I don't know. Questionable decisions. But it's better than having no defense. Because alternatively, I could save the money to buy a lance. But no, I'm gonna buy weapons. Or I'm gonna buy armor, rather. And, once we, yeah, don't mind the screen flickering. That is not an issue with the capture. That is coming up on my end too, for some reason. But here we go. Now we're actually outfitted to go into the world. We only have one quest, and it's an urgent quest to find raw meat. It's just a little test. There's no fee because we actually have no money left. And I don't think there's anybody that we need to talk to. I think there is some secret stuff depending on what missions you've completed or not, or what quests. This woman is a general purpose vendor. There's some kind of common stuff in here that you might use. Pickaxes and bug nets, whetstones. The barbecue spit is a little expensive, but you don't really need it because one of the early quests gives you a spit in the supply box. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a circumstance where it's good to have the barbecue spit on a quest. Anyway, I'm going to ignore the wisdom of the chief because I have already done this game a little bit otherwise. Anyway, the item selecting in this is very, very slow. Also, this is an early PS2 game where developers were kind of experimenting with what to do with a second analog stick, the right stick. Because this game does require a DualShock controller, I think. You couldn't get away with just using the old PS1 digital and face buttons. So they do make use of, you know, slightly pressing and fully pressing the left analog, but your camera's controlled with the D-pad, and you have sort of stages of camera elevation, distinct ones instead of the full range of motion. And the right analog stick is for using weapons. So you tap up to do kind of vertical attacks. Well, not all of them are vertical, but it does a combo. Left or right does a slash. It's kind of backwards though, because it's the same slash whether you do left or right, so it kind of defeats the purpose of even having that feature, I think. Then down will usually do a special attack. You get your shield, which you, unlike in later games, you don't have a shield bash, so the sword and shield can't really do everything like it can in the other games. In later games, you get a little bit of everything with the sword and shield, but in this one, nope, you get that. Luckily, as clumsily as the camera controls are, you do get the left trigger to recenter the camera. So there's that little concession. But this mission, I'm afraid we have to kill these great, beautiful Aptonauts for some raw meat. But we only have to kill one because they'll usually drop 2 raw meat, and 2 is all we need for this mission. That said, we should kill more in order to get... Well, we don't need to kill any more just because we don't have a spit. There we go. Oops. Ah, gee. I'm used to modern games on the right analog stick being the camera control. That's going to come back to bite me if we get to a fight. But yeah, this is Monster Hunter. So far, I'm noticing a little bit of latency on the stream. Don't know why that is. But, you know, this is kind of a stress test stream. We're gonna see if, I'm gonna see if I can do anything, yeah. My stream rate is not very good. But, let's see. I've turned up the low latency option because apparently my internet connection isn't great. Although, I don't know, looking at performance, let's see. I don't know, my system performance isn't that bad. I had everything else closed, so... Oh, and there we go with the, throwing a sword again. I'm gonna keep a closer eye on the stream and be sure that, everything is a little more smooth now. But I'm gonna keep the resolution down because that might help. Alright, now I got the meat delivered. Oh yeah, that's another thing. No emotes. No emotes in the original Monster Hunter, so the most you can do is like crouch and crouch. Roll around maybe. Do some attacking. Can we draw attack? Yes, we can. I seem to remember that stamina cap depletion is a lot higher in this than in later games, or at least it feels more harsh. I would assume that anybody watching is familiar with Monster Hunter and not confused too much by all this stuff. So I will save. It's pretty humble beginnings, even for a Monster Hunter game. I think there isn't a single hunting quest in the first star, in the 1-star quests. We got that one, raw meat. Preparing meat, that's where we get the spit. Items, combining, yeah, there's not a single hunting quest in this, they're all gathering. Well, let's get to it. So this one, we only have to deliver one cooked steak, one well-done steak, I should say. And we keep whatever we collect in this quest, so it's in our best interest to, to remember the controls. It's in our best interest to make a use out of this barbecue spit and cook up a full 10. A full 10 steaks, so that we only have to give up one and we can keep the rest. Wisdom of the Chief is just tutorial stuff, so I don't need to keep any of that. Alright. Very poor Aptonauts. I'm gonna have to kill a lot more of those today. But yeah, it's gonna be quite a while before we can get the weapon